Hello everyone and welcome to episode 47 of the TEW 2020 UJPW series here on the channels. It is the 1997 Champion Carnival, and this should be an absolute blast to book through. We have all the tournament matches pre-booked, plus one Young Lion matchup for the card as far as pre-booking wise, so we'll just have to add 2 matches to each show. Really, we only have 2 matches lined up for the final show. Of course, the finals being one, so it's not really a whole lot there to be done, unfortunately. I want to wait until we get a little bit later on into the tour to really go through that. But as far as the brackets go, going into night 1, of course, the odd numbers will be for Block A for the night as Doug Furnace, Hiroshi Hase, Jun Akiyama, Kinsuke Sasaki, Kaiji Muto, Koji Kanemoto, Shinya Hashimoto, Stan Hansen, Tosha Kawada, and Ultimo Dragon making his debut in the Champion Carnival. What a fun opportunity for Ultimo Dragon. Obviously, the idea with him being involved in this is from the perspective of he had that All Asia Heavyweight title matchup with Kaiji Muto, so it'd be a great kind of return match there to see. As far as obviously that match was pretty fucking awesome, and it's kind of like that wild card spot, if you will, if you kind of think of it from that perspective. But yeah, I mean, obviously you have a lot of probably odds-on favorites to win this block. I mean, you got, as far as Hiroshi Hase's been the man. Kaiji Muto, of course, being the All Asia Heavyweight Champion. Shinya Hashimoto's won this tournament before, and same thing for Stan Hansen, same thing for Tosha Kawada. There's a lot of fun matches, though. A lot of first-time matches, too, obviously, with Ultimo Dragon being involved in the tournament. As for Block B, we have Akira Taue, Darren Crawford, Kenta Kobashi, Masahiro Chono, Masanobu Fuchi, Mitsuha Amasawa, Norman Smiley and Steven Regal, Dr. Dusty Williams, of course, the unified Grand Heavyweight Champion, and the Gladiator, Mike Awesome Man. So you have 3/4 of the 4 pillars on the same block. Obviously, Masawa and Kobashi, they have had probably one Champion Carnival matchup the entire time of the series, which is pretty wild to think. As far as from that, well, actually, they've had a lot. They probably had more than one. They've probably had at least 2 since the first 2. I remember Masawa was gone. Yeah, we had him, take time off after he was the champion for so long, so he wasn't in that Champion Carnival, but want to say at least the 93 and 94 one he was in together. So that's a long time coming, besides the fact that, obviously having those 2 together is going to be pretty special. But also Norman and Steven Regal, of course, the All-Asia Tag Team Champions right now, the British Combat Club, one of the best teams in the world, are in the same block together. So that should be fun to see. Of course, the Heavyweight Champion involved as well. One half of the Tag Champs, and, Akira Taue, of course, of the Holy Demon Army. So a pretty stacked Block B when you really think of it from that perspective. Masato Fuchi, though, I believe, I would like to think that's his first Champion Carnival in a long time. We can look at least, he hasn't been in the 95 and the 96 one. Obviously, it's kind of hard to tell, as far as, because that was back when the 93 and 94 one was when we had the 12-man blocks. Sometimes, actually, we had a couple of the 2 12-man blocks there for a minute as well. So obviously that's kind of hard to kind of dictate to see where everybody kind of ranks up in. But yeah, I'm super excited to see how this plays out. From what I remember from the pre-booking stuff, the first night here is jam-packed. It is a banger show, and let's waste no more time here. Let's hop right in and see what we get, because this is going to be pretty fucking special in my opinion here. So yeah, let's go back to the 1993. Yeah, Johnny Ace was in this one. So yeah, we won't. At least we could see Johnny Ace and Jumbo. Obviously, Albright would have been in it this year had he not had that concussion. But yeah, mostly you're seeing some of the same names. Obviously, you're familiar with. So 94 had Offer, Albright, and Kikuchi. Johnny Ace again, back to back. Champion Carnivals. No Champion Carnival for Terry Funk. Him being 52 just felt like it was time to give him a break. Plus, also, thought it was a great opportunity to do the rematch between him and Dean Malenko. So that should be, that's going to be the co-main probably, unless we have a better co-main event. Yeah, usually. Looks like, that's why that was the best one, the 88. The rest have been kind of high to mid-70s, but I think that will be changed here today. Because Jesus Christ, we have a Kaiji Muto Toshiaki Kawada main event set. And this is going to be a banger. For sure. It's going to be a time limit draw, though. So we're kicking off the tournament with a draw. Obviously, we don't usually do that. But, as far as I think this was the perfect time to bust that out. And, 1 point each for Muto and Kawada. The co-main's an interesting one, because I really like that Hase Stan Hansen matchup. That's probably actually going to be it. I don't think I really need to sell myself anymore on this matchup. Stan Hansen's going to get the win in 20 minutes. Tough break for Roshiase to start off with a loss, but at least this is Stan Hansen. Koji Kanemoto and Ultimo Dragon. So this is the first time they've had a match since Kanemoto was unmasked. And to have a Champion Carnival matchup is pretty cool, too. They've had the junior title matchup, I believe that was, the Summer Action Series show, 1994. And they had the J-Cup, too, which that was, I want to say that was Koji Kanemoto's debut. From what I remember, I think it was actually both of their debuts. Now I think about it, actually, we could just take a look and check. If it will load. Come on, fucker. Now, of course, TEW's not wanting to work. There we go. Okay. Jesus. Match history. Oh, the Ultimate Dragon Gym has opened up. How fun. 1994. Actually, we'll just go with 93 just to double check. Just to make sure. Oh, no, he's been with us literally since 93. So, not what I thought. But yeah, that makes sense, though. For him to... that's going to be a great match, though. Nonetheless, Koji Kanemoto, though, going to get the win over Ultimo Dragon. He never beaten him while he was Tiger Mask 3, so it just kind of makes sense there. And then we'll probably... It sucks that now Shinya Hashimoto, his stamina's at the point now where he cannot work a match that's over, like, 20 minutes without dealing... Actually, like, 16 minutes without dealing with the effects of, this, just, poor stamina. So we're going to have this be a Steel Show matchup. We're going to save these. We're not going to do it every, as far as show for them. Because, as far as that would be a lot to put on somebody. But every now and again for this tour, he'll have the 10-minute all-out sprint, fucking hoss battles, we're going to call it. And this is definitely right up that alley. And Kensuke Sasaki's going to beat him. Dude, that's a major win. Jun Akiyama versus Doug Furnace will be the quote-unquote opener of the tournament matches for this first night, which Doug Furnace will be beating Jun Akiyama. And then the Young Lion matchup, Wellington Wilkins Jr. is going to beat Kazuki Fujita, as, Wellington Wilkins Jr. getting the much-deserved win there, as, we just need to add, basically, tag matches now, undercard tag matches, and just kind of see what is happening. But yeah, the undercard tag matches, we'll probably just stick with some of the basics. Like a Takano Brothers. Might go with a heavyweight, or not a heavyweight, might go with a junior heavyweight tag match here. A little Hayabusa Jinsei Shinzaki against... Boy, I was just kind of thinking, I was like, we really don't have, like, a good, matchup for this. We might go with Johnny Ace and Chris Jericho just to do it a little bit different. I know it's not a junior heavyweight type of matchup, but should be a pretty solid matchup, though, nonetheless. First time meeting, of course, as well have Jericho beat Jinsei Shinzaki to help him out a little bit. Nice. Cool. We might go with a 6-man next. Just kind of see what we got. As, I kind of want to go with the Headhunters and Damien. Oh. Alright, that was weird. It, popped up like an error screen. I don't know what the fuck's going on with this recording. This is wild. But yeah, Headhunters with Damien. And we'll go with... It's like a Flash and Smash. And then, Brad Armstrong, but we'll see. Might actually go with Takano Brothers with Shinichi Nakano. That actually makes a little bit more sense. There we go. Good shit there. Yeah, 10-minute matchup. And we'll have Damien beat Shinichi Nakano. Not a bad little show. We just gotta pick the venue. it will be squared away here. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, definitely not Kanto. Yes, we'll be running the Niigata City Gymnasium to kick off the tour. Will be a sellout. Awesome to see there. Actually, is it going to be better than that Hayabusa Johnny Ace Jericho Jinsei Shinzaki matchup? Yeah, we'll keep that. We will keep it. We're on the show. So 58 for the opener. Wellington Wilkins Jr. getting the win in 10:27. It's crazy, he looked good out there, even though his in-ring performance is 69. Nice, but not the greatest. But yeah, Kazuki Fujita stung it up a little bit. 76, wow, for that 6-man matchup ahead. Headhunters and Damien did a pretty good job there. Damien getting a win. It's good stuff. It's a good little matchup. Oh, it was better. Okay, so Hayabusa and Jinsei Shinzaki losing to the Johnny Ace Chris Jericho team, which is actually really close. It probably should have went to the Hayabusa Jinsei Shinzaki team from the perspective of, Hayabusa with that 85, and then Jinsei Shinzaki was relatively close to Jericho. That was actually a good rating there from Hayabusa and Jinsei Shinzaki, but Jericho gets the win with the Lion Tamer. Decent little matchup, though. Now on to the Champion Carnival matches. As we'll see how that plays out. There we go. Jun Akiyama losing to Doug Furnas, which Doug Furnas outperformed him, so it makes sense from that perspective. An 82 there. And 76 for Hashimoto and Kensuke Sasaki. Oh, at least Hashimoto, even with the Steal the Show matchup setting, he actually did pretty well. 83 there, so that's not bad at all. Especially for a tour show, so you gotta remember that as well. But yeah, I got the crowd buzzing. Pretty solid. 89 for Ultimo Dragon Koji Kanemoto. As Ultimo Dragon losing, but what a performance, obviously. He's in his fucking bag right now, and Kanemoto gets on with the moonsault in 25-39. It's cool to see two juniors having like a match like this in the Champion Carnival, where obviously you're not used to seeing that, but kind of sprinkling in the Super Junior style to, kind of promoting the next generation of heavyweights to be like, listen, they can still be pretty small if they're phenomenal workers and they can, bust their ass off. They'll definitely get like a high level spot in the company. So I like that from that perspective. Plus, it's something different too, especially after this. Before this match, Hiroshi Ase and Stan Hansen, they're gonna beat the shit out of each other. And Stan Hansen gets the win with the lariat in 20 minutes. Still, rolling right along as Stan Hansen. Still, it's kind of crazy to think, because obviously we've seen, basically I would say the tail end of his prime into where he's at now, where he's definitely not that same Stan Hansen he was at the start of this save. He's kind of now the obviously the aging veteran, which he already was the vet then, but now he's definitely the aging vet, like him and Terry, both Terry Funk and Terry Gordy, have been here for a long time now. But yeah, it's a solid little matchup. And then the main event's a 93. Kajimoto outperformed Toshio Kawada, but a 30-minute time limit draw to kick off the 97 Champion Carnival. And I think that's the right decision, though, nonetheless. It was very close. The All-Asia Heavyweight Champion looks strong. Kawada looks strong. It's champion versus champion. It's a solid match. Solid match for sure. And it was a really good show. It's actually really, really good when you kind of think of it from the whole card perspective. Like Johnny Ace and Jericho against Hayabusa and Jinsei Sasaki was better than a Champion Carnival match. I think that's really solid. Really solid to see. So on to night 2 we go. Alright, now we get to see how Block B is going to stack up on their first night of the Champion Carnival. Did we talk about us having Telemundo now? As, it's weird that Telemundo does not show anything in Mexico, because that's kind of what I always associated Telemundo, broadcasting in Mexico, which is kind of weird. It's just the U.S. and Canada for some reason. I want to say that's kind of mixed up. That should be kind of, instead of Canada, it should be Mexico there, but I don't know. Maybe in the 90s that's how it was, but I just I was shocked to see that in the mod. But yeah, as far as we have, everything's a singles matches that we have pre-booked, which is pretty interesting. As far as I don't know why everything's taking, okay, there we go. I was going to say, I don't know why everything's taking so long. So we got Chono and Masawa. It's a fun little main. Doc and the Gladiator. I don't think that's going to be good enough for a main event, unfortunately. I kind of like that Norman Tawai match, too. I think we're going to go with Masawa and Chono, though. Just makes sense. Three Musketeer versus one of the four pillars. It's a fun matchup. Well, let's give them a little bit more time than 20 minutes. Yeah, we'll go 26 here, as Masao's going to get his first 2 points of the tournament. Kenta Kobashi and Dan Crawford should be a banger. Kobashi is going to beat Dan Crawford there in 26 minutes. I mean, Fuchi and Regal's actually a really good match. Fuchi's going to beat Regal, so that's a big win for Masato Fuchi. Then Norman and Taue. It's weird that our Grand Heavyweight Champion, which Taue's going to beat Norman. He'll probably get outperformed, but that's a big win for Taue using his size there. But yeah, Doc and the Gladiator. Doc's going to get the win in 20 minutes. Nice win for the Grand Heavyweight Champion. As it is weird that he's the first of the 5 of the matches, but it is what it is. Scott Norton, still Rikishi. Obviously, Scott Norton going to get the win there. So our 2 matches. Definitely would like to have non-singles matches. See what we get. I mean, the Headhunters isn't a bad call. Kind of go with some junior guys. Maybe like a Chris Jericho, Johnny Ace tag match here. I wouldn't mind the Tactical Tactician Squad. Would not mind even Shudo either. Like Osamu Nishimura and Nuki Sano. I don't hate that. It's a fresh little matchup too. We haven't used Shudo, obviously. So they're 1-1 in tag matches too. Obviously, that was back at last 2 tours ago now, as far as the New Year Giant Series, Night 1 and Night 9. Went back and forth. We're going to give them the win this time around. Win the trilogy. Will be Jericho and Johnny Ace. And so, yeah, we'll have Osamu Nishimura take the loss there. This will be the Steal the Show matchup. Kind of just makes sense from that perspective. Blue Blonde Squad's going to get the win there, obviously. Alrighty, and the next tag match... Yeah, I mean, a Dean Malenko... Yeah, let's go Dean and Eddie. We'll think of somebody to team with Funk here. I'm thinking Brad Armstrong. I think that'd be a fun tag team there. Yeah, Dean still got that broken jaw. Thought about giving him some time off, but we do have to build up to that matchup. Also forgot to talk about that. I'm glad I remembered this. There's also the junior heavyweight title matchup that's happening on the Champion Carnival show. The Great Sasuke versus Jushin Thunder Liger. So we could build to that as well instead, which I think that's what we're going to do, actually. Yes. Liger, El Samurai, 2 Cold Scorpio, the Great Sasuke. So we're going to have Sasuke beat El Samurai. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. There's a fun match, though. Sasuke's the man. You love to see it. Love to see him finally getting a title match, too. It's been a long time, I feel like, since he's had a title match. Actually, I could be wrong on that. I'm thinking about it. Let's go with 2 defenses. Yeah, I remember he had... okay, so yeah, it was May of 96 was his last one. Of course, he had the... he was in the match with Liger, as far as to determine the first ever Grand Heavyweight Champion. That was in the finals. Of course, the Best Super Junior finals. Very cool to see there. As, yeah, that's been a long time coming for Sasuke and Liger. Yeah, I think it'll probably be better, so we'll put it there. So yeah, Night 2. See, obviously, as far as running Chubu, I don't think we should run Night 2 here, as, yeah, I mean, we'll probably go with the old Sendai Sun Plaza. Just play it safe. Nice little sellout. Here we go. As a 49 for the opener, and it actually cooled the crowd a little bit. I'm actually surprised by that, because, like, Scott wasn't terrible. Obviously, Ishii was, but still, I think it couldn't have been worse. 75 though for the next matchup as Osamu Nishimura and Nuki Sano losing to Johnny Ace and Chris Jericho. Yeah, it's close. Could have went either way. I mean, obviously, Osamu Nishimura and Nuki Sano have an excellent chemistry, and they were both off their games too. So that's kind of impressive that they were still, basically the better team. With all that being said, the announcing gave that a boost as well, and Nuki Sano benefits from having a hot new move as well. So 79 for Sasuke and 2 Cold Scorpio against El Samurai and Jushin Liger. It's Liger, best guy in the match there by far, but Sasuke beating El Summer with the Thunderfire Powerbomb. It's a good match. Got the crowd hotter again. As Doc and Gladiator, as Doc getting the win with the Dr. Bomb in 1940. 81 for Norman Smiley and Akira Taue. Taue did outperform him by 1 point. As Taue getting the win with a Dynamic Bomb. 1947 and 76 for Fuchi and Regal. Wow, Masa Fuchi was really off his game. That is unfortunate to see, especially with a big win like that. Hate to see that he didn't put his best foot forward there. On Ken Kobashi, Dan Crawford is an 84. Kobashi with the Orange Crush over Dan Crawford in 25 minutes. Our main event is a 94. Misawa beating Masahiro Chono with the Tiger Driver. Glad that main event delivered. Yeah, I mean, Doc and Mike Awesome probably should have been the co-main there. But it's okay, they're still a 92. Solid stuff. We will take a nice little first 2 shows there, as on to night 3 we go. Alright, day 3, night 3. Here, as, we don't want to run the generic venues. Make sure we change that as quickly as we can. Yeah, we'll run the star lanes. Not a bad call. Man, as far as what the main event will be, that is a good question. I mean, Kaiji Muto and Shinya Hashimoto usually, I would say, should be the main, but because Hashimoto's kind of fallen by the wayside a little bit, that's probably not the best call. Hase and Ultimo Dragon would probably rule. So we'll probably have that be the main, as Ultimo Dragon's going to beat Hase, so that's a big win. First of all, that's got to be a first-time meeting, yeah, that is. But that's a big win for Ultimo Dragon. Then we'll have the Kaiji Muto Shinya Hashimoto matchup. He can steal the show. Kaiji Muto's going to win in 10. Then we'll probably, Stan Hansen and Jun Akiyama's a good call, but also Kawada and Koji Kanemoto's a good call as well. We'll go with Kawada first, as he's going to beat Kanemoto, and then Hansen and Jun Akiyama can go here, which Stan Hansen's going to beat Jun Akiyama. I want to say Jun beat him last year. No, he did not. He had the one match, and Hansen beat him. That was, it was 2 years ago in the Night 1 show of the Champion Carnival in 1995. But yeah, Stan Hansen's going to get the win. And Doug Furnace against Kei Sasaki, obviously. It's the only match left of the Champion Carnival matches. Kinsuke's going to get the win. 22 minutes. That's not a bad matchup, though. They have also his first time meeting, as far as singles-wise, so that's fun. And then we have Funaki versus Machizuki. Obviously, Funaki's going to get the win. Nice to see Machizuki getting some airtime, though. So, because we already have one of the technician guys on the card, I would like to see how Minoru Tanaka and Tomohon Honda can do as a team. We might even go with a 6-man matchup, but yeah, let's actually do that. Let's go with 6-man. Minoru Tanaka, Tomohon Honda, and Shinjiro Otani. So I might go with the Takano brothers with Shinichi Nakano. That's probably the best call. Yeah, I think that's the better choice. We might even just go with the Riki Choshu, Shiro Kashinaka, and like Ishii matchup. Yeah, let's do that. Back-to-back bookings for Tomohiro Ishii, but mainly this is just used to get Tomohon Honda a win. He's gonna be Ishii there. Oh yeah, we could have this be the Steal the Show match. That's fine by me. Good call. And yeah, then the final matchup. Have it be a tag. Let's go with the heavyweight tag if we can. Yeah, we were talking about the Kano brothers. We booked them already on the night 1, that's right. As Tenkoji. Have them get a win. Yeah, it's haven't beat No Fear. Oh. And so this has got to be a match we've done before. Yeah, that we did this at the Funker 30th anniversary show back in December. It'd be nice to do it here, as yeah, we'll have Kojima beat Takayama. Not a bad little show. Not a bad show at all. Gotta make sure it's the site. There we go. It's just gonna be a 10-minute matchup, so we'll have that go after this, but oh shit. Just bump that down. There we go. Alright. Night 3 in the books. So let's run. 56 for the opener. Funaki getting the win with the Rising Sun. Makes a little win for Shinichi Funaki as he gets a 61. 59 for the 6-man matchup as Minoru Tanaka with a 61. Best guy in the matchup. Him and Kashinaka did about the same, but yeah, Tomohiro Ishii again, just stinking up the joint a little bit, but at least Tomoe and Honda can get a win. Went with a triangle choke, too. That's sick. Love it. No fear. Losing to Tenkoji. As Takamori was almost the best guy in the match. Tenzan did a really good job, though, as the Koji Cutter from Satoshi Kojima in 10 minutes. Announcing gave it a lift. Not a bad little matchup, 65. We'll take it. 81 for Kensuke Sasaki and Doug Furnace. Stranglehold Gamma for Kensuke Sasaki getting the win there. Doug Furnace was off his game, but probably still would have got outperformed. Stance with a lariat over Jun Akiyama in 20 minutes. Nice little win there. 84 for Kanemoto and Kawada's the Kawada Crab in 22:54. It's a nice win for Toshiro Kawada's. Good little matchup. It's an 80 for Hashimoto and Kaiji Muto. That's right, they don't click. Completely forgot about that. But Hashimoto did outperform him, so we could have gave Hashimoto a win there. It probably would have at least been believable, but Kaiji Muto getting the win nonetheless. And our main event is a 91. Ultimo Dragon beating Hiroshi Ase with the Dragon Bomb. Fuck yeah. Full steam ahead for Ultimo Dragon. I mean, I think he's really proved, just as far as ratings-wise, he can belong in against a guy like guys like Hiroshi Ase and Kaiji Muto and Koji Kanemoto, obviously, former junior guy, now working heavyweight stuff. And it just makes sense. I think from a size perspective, if you match him up to the right guy, it's going to be a banger of a matchup. But, yeah, it's a solid little show. We'll gladly take that main event, though. That was nice to see. And on to night 4 we go. Alrighty, night 4, as I get us on the Sendai Sun Plaza for this night, as we get a couple of backstage incidents. First one, Taue passing on Psychology to Masato Tanaka, then Shinya Hashimoto wins a bit over Jun Akiyama. That is awesome, because they are in the same block. As far as, I forgot when that day is, but I think it's relatively coming up, so that is massive. But Dr. Dusty Williams, Hiroshi Ase at a 97 last time around. That is pretty spectacular. But yeah, main event, obviously, Doc and Masawa. Jesus Christ, what a main event. That's going to be massive. And Doc's going to beat him right before the 30-minute mark. Massive win for Steve Williams. Taue and Kenta Kobashi, 2 of the 4 pillars, battling it out. And Taue's going to beat him. As far as, Taue beat him the first time they ever had a singles matchup. That was back in the Champion Carnival in 1993, our first one we booked. Kobashi beat him the year after that. See, then Kobashi beat him in 95. So far, they've wrestled in every Champion Carnival against each other. And then Taue beat him at the Summer Action Series, the final show, which that was in 99. When that happened, that was during when the Masawa and Kobashi and the whole Human Army were battling it out. And that was the last time they faced off against each other. Oh no, never mind. New Year Giant Series in 96 was the last time which Kobashi beat him. So I believe they're 2-2 or 3-2. I want to say. That's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Not anymore, though. 3-3, with Taue beating him in the 26th minute. Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking it was out of order, but no, it's definitely not. Oh, boy. I mean, Norman and Fuchi sounds really good, but so does Regal and Chono, too. I think we're going to go with Smiley and Fuchi next, which Norman Smiley is going to beat Masato Fuchi in the 26th minute. Regal and Chono. Regal's going to get the win in 24 minutes. A big win for British Combat Club there. Dan Crawford, Gladiators. Dan Crawford's going to beat Mike Awesome in 20 minutes. Then the undercard, Naruki Sano, going to beat Teo Kia in 10 as the kind of the Young Lion matchup. But as far as we got Norman and Fuchi, so it would be nice to see Johnny Smith take on, as far as Masato Tanaka. That would be nice. Would be nice indeed. Even though it's another, singles matchup. But obviously Johnny Smith's going to get the win there. Nice. So yeah, we definitely need a tag match now. As, let's go with the Headhunters. Headhunters versus Flash Smashers and a bad call. Let's actually just exclude everyone who's booked. Tenkoji. Could go with the Takano brothers. I don't hate that. I think we did this though. Oh no, we did this back in January, but that was it. We did Damien and the Headhunters against Nakano and Nakano brothers. So that was night 1. So that makes sense to do it here for night 4. We'll give them 16 minutes to give them a little bit more time than what they probably would normally get. Slow build, decisive win for the Headhunters. Good stuff there. But yeah, they want us at the Sendai Sun Plaza. I mean, they will sell out. Though we did just run at night 2, so I think changing it up, sending it to the Hiroshima Sun Plaza instead for night 3 would be better. 68 for the opener. Nuki Sano, of course, getting a little scoop Brainbuster. Nuki Sano killing it again, as always. Johnny Smith beating Masato Tanaka with the Death Valley Bomb in 9:42. And 80 for the Headhunters against the Kano brothers. 81s across the board for the Headhunters. 64 for Shunji Takano. 59 for George Takano. Yeah, the right team obviously wins there. 81 for Dan Crawford and the Gladiator. Dan Crawford with the Cobra Clutch in 1958. It's a good little win there for Dan Crawford. 80 for Regal and Masahiro Chono. Could have went to Chono. He did outperform him. But Regal plex though nonetheless. So Steven Regal getting the win in 23:55. 76 for Fuchi and Norman, which Fuchi again outperforms Norman's final. It's crazy how Norman and Regal, obviously together, they are such a great team. But Christ, singles-wise, they are still just kind of middle of the road. And it's definitely being shown there. But Kobashi and Taue, is Taue getting the win with the Dynamic Bomb in the co-main event. That gets an 84, sitting up for the main event, which should be a banger. And it is a 94, as Doc with the backdrop driver over Masawa, which Masawa's only a 74. Is interesting. Is holding back an inconsistency, or 77 rather. But yeah, that is not a great performance from him. But I mean, Doc again showing why he's the heavyweight champion with a great performance again. It's been fantastic, this Champion Carnival. 92, thanks to that main event. But yeah, that's a great co-main event too. Not bad at all. And yeah, on to night 5 we go. Alrighty, night 5, as we do have an extra match lined up, so we only have to add one match to this card. So that's nice, as far as, for me. But it is just one match, it's not that big of a deal. One match or two matches added, no big deal. The main event, though, probably, I mean, I would say Kawada and Hashimoto, but I don't know if Kawada and Hashimoto, as far as if they can go that long. We're going to try. Going to give them 20, and Hashimoto's going to beat them. We're really rolling the dice. We'll see how it goes. We shall see. Kaijimuto and Doug Furnace, that was a fun little match. We'll add that here. Kaijimuto going to beat Doug Furnace. Yeah, and then probably... I love Kensuke and Stan Hansen, but I think the Kanemoto-Hase match is going to be better. Hase is going to get the win over Koichi Kanemoto in 24 minutes. Then Kensuke, Stan Hansen. Kensuke is going to beat him. So they had a match, I was about to say, yeah, it was last year, which Stan won. And then they had a match the year before that, which Stan Hansen won. So the first time Kensuke has beaten him. And I think well-deserved. Well-deserved win, for sure. Stan Hansen, though, was super unhappy about that. We will keep him strong. Nice. Jun Akiyama and Ultimo Dragon, which is a good match. A solid match. Ultimo's going to beat him, too. So that's back-to-back wins for Ultimo Dragon. That is massive. And as far as... So, Damien and Vampiro against Kashinaka and Ishii. 10-minute matchup. Damien's going to beat Ishii there, which... Damien... And Tomohiro Ishii, as far as Ishii's been getting a lot of booking time. So this is an interesting matchup. Iizuka and Astro against Takeya Mori and Tsuyoshi Kikuchi, as the Super Generation Army team is going to get the win. So why Iizuka is teaming up with Super Astro? We needed someone to team up with Super Astro since we're doing Jun Akiyama versus Ultimo Dragon. Seemed like that was the best case scenario to have Iizuka there. He's kind of on the same level as Takeya Mori, at least as far as pop-wise. And, hopefully it works out, really from that perspective. That's all you can ask for. At the end of the day, as, you haven't really used Vegeta yet. We did use him the first night, so there is that, but it has at least been, it's been a couple of days now. Yeah, we used Jericho. It's, Timon Honda and, Shinichi Funaki. To have them take on, Hideki Osaka and Satoru Asako. Little 10-minute matchup. Timon Honda gonna get the win over Hideki Osaka. Hopefully it plays out well. Hopefully there. That's all you can ask for. Yeah, it's a pretty solid show. think top to bottom, it's put together pretty well. We'll see. Damian Vampiro against Ishii and Kashinaka. As Damian again getting the win, he's pinning Tomohiro Ishii there with the marionette. 10-24, but yeah, Ishii seemed off his game. And Tomohiro Honda pinning Hideki Osaka with the German suplex. It's a nice win. Obviously, Tomohiro Honda is still not at that level as kind of everybody else in that matchup, but he's getting better. He's getting there slowly but surely. Nice little win for the Tactical Tactician squad. A 76 here for Astro and Izuka against Kikuchi and Takeo Omori. Omori beating Izuka with the Lariat in 11:37. That's a pretty solid little tag match, though. It's really solid. 83 for Jun Akiyama and Ultimo Dragon. This IDT for Ultimo Dragon in 26 minutes. Another 2 points for that man. Stan Hansen beating Kensuke Sasaki with the Northern Lights. Or rather, Stan Hansen losing to Kensuke Sasaki with the Northern Lights bomb. And, as far as Stan Hansen, outperformed him. It's an upset, but I think as far as for Kensuke, that's a huge win. To help elevate him and beating a former, Triple Crown champion, a former champion Carnival like that. It's a massive win. 83 for Koji Kanemoto and Hiroshi Hase. Northern Light suplex for Hiroshi Hase. So a nice win for the Hase Kensuke Sasaki team. It's winning back-to-back matches there, but Koji Kanemoto, he did outperform him, so both guys underperformed against their opponent, but still solid matches nonetheless. As our co-main event, it's an 86, Keiji Muto with the moonsault over Doug Furnace, getting the win in 22 minutes. Nice co-main event. And our main event is a 97. Shinya Hashimoto, visibly tired towards the end, but still pulls off the victory. So it's nice to see at least a 20-minute matchup. He could still at least get an 80 out of it. But a phenomenal matchup, though, nonetheless. As Hashimoto beating Kawada, though. Massive win. Absolutely massive. 95 for the show. Rating will gladly take that. As on to Night 6. We're almost at the point where we'll look at the standings for the first time. We'll obviously be looking at that after Night 8 to see how the 2 blocks are going after first 4 nights for each block. But so far, so good. Nobody's gotten hurt. We've had some great main events. We've had some pretty solid shows because of that, and just got to keep the ball rolling. Alright, Day 6, as Day 6 has always been a normal event for the Champion Carnival, so we're going to be really rolling the dice with this, because this is not really the greatest of cards to be having a show like this, but we shall see how it goes, as of course, Nippon TV, Telemundo. As far as what we're going to do with USA, I'm not really sure, because obviously we have no need for it anymore. Oh, I forgot, backstage incident. See what we got with Ultimo Dragon. As he lifted the locker room when a silly game he created became very popular backstage. So for the venue for this, now, oh my, 91,000 people. Jesus Christ. I mean, yeah, we ran the Dome here last time. Probably be a safe bet to run it here. There's a lot of shows still left to run. Obviously, we're only at Night 6. We got about, as far as 13 more to go until at the end of the tour. So we got a long ways to go. But as far as the main event, I mean, Doc and Regal makes a lot of sense. Plus, having Steven Regal beat the heavyweight champion is a massive win. And we'll see how that main event delivers. Fuchi and Kobashi, again, they've just been having tremendous matches as of late. Fuchi's been tremendous, Kobashi's been tremendous. I wonder if this has been done before, as far as singles-wise, because I'm assuming it hasn't. That's not. So first time meeting there, hopefully it goes well, but Kobashi's going to get the win. Yeah, I mean, Chono, Norman, it's not a bad call. Masahiro Chono's going to beat Norman Smiley there. Misawa and Mike Awesome, as Misawa's going to beat him. 26 minutes. Taue and Crawford, which should be a pretty good matchup, as Taue's going to beat Dan Crawford. And then we have as far as the undercard matchup, Hideki Osaka and Star Osaka against the Tactical Tactician squad. There's Minoru Tanaka and Tomohiro Honda. They're going to get the win. Minoru Tanaka, obviously, getting that victory in 10 minutes. As far as I think, Kento Shiga has been used in a hot-ass minute, so I'd love to get him on the card. Would be great to see, as far as, from that perspective. We got Yamasaki, we could use Vampiro. Yeah, I think we're going to go with Kyoshinmura, actually. be nice for him to get booked. Good stuff. Else, Kyoshimura, of course, going to get the win. And for the final match, which will need a Steal the Show matchup, which this will probably be it. So we'll go with the Fantastics. Go with Tommy Rogers and Bobby Fulton against the team of, I think, Jericho and Johnny Ace. Probably a good call. Might also go with Hayabusa and Jinsei Shinzaki. We have not done this before. We've done the 6-mans involving this, but not a tag match. So we'll have the Fantastics get a win. Tommy Rogers gonna beat Jinsei Shinzaki. Oh, well, gotta change something, looks like. Marty Asami. Let that be Red Shoes. Man, he must have the co-main, too. Oh, no, now Red Shoes. It's probably Red Shoes now, if I had to guess. Nope, still Marty Asami. There we go. Perfect. So, night 6. It is set. Let's run the show. Wow, 70 for the opener, as Kyoshi Demora getting the win over Kentaro Shiga. 10 minutes, not bad at all. 68 for Deki Osaka and Satoru Osaka against Tomoe Honda and Minoru Tanaka. Pretty close. Pretty close. As far as... Could have went either way. Could have went either way there. Minoru special, though, for Minoru Osaka over Satoru Osaka. Not bad at all. 79 for the tag team matchup is Hayabusa with a 94, which this match got hurt because of his, as far as his overness there, and that's why, as far as a match that's too short as an important matchup in the eyes of the audience, but still, got the crowd buzzing. Announcing gave it a boost. All around, pretty solid Steal the Show matchup, to be honest. But Tommy Rogers, the Tommy Knocker. Good stuff. Good stuff there. 93 from Tawai and Dan Crawford. As Tawai with a dynamic bomb. Dan Crawford outperformed him. A 92 is pretty impressive for Dan Crawford, though. Got nothing to be upset about. Masawa and the Gladiators. Masawa was Tiger Driver in 25:59. Mike Awesome has struggled a little bit in this tour. As a 70, he was off his game, too. Just tough break there. Goddamn, 99 as Norman Smiley, Masahiro Chono with the Yakuza kick in 23:47. Hell of a match there. 96 from Kobashi and Fuchi. Lack of psychology on display with Kobashi with the Orange Crush in 25:54, which means our main event. It's a 93. It's Regal with the Regal Stretch in 27:33. What a win over the heavyweight champion. Doc's first loss of the tournament as well. Massive show. Absolutely massive. Who knew that Chono and Norman Smiley would be a 99? Very impressive there, as we will be putting those guys over. And, we're going to put over Doc for losing to Steven Regal and not bitching about it. That is really, really cool of him. Hell yeah. What a show, though. That was obviously, it being considered a normal event really helped it a lot, but, as far as from a, even if I think we had that as like a tour show, it still probably would have done really well. But on to Night 7 we go. Alrighty, Night 7 as we have a debut on this show, so that should be exciting to see. Backstage incident, though, Akira Tele, passing on microphone or psychology for the two Masato Tanaka. As we'll take a look and see what the card's looking like. So the main event, probably Stan Hansen and Kaiji Muto. Just makes sense. Stan Hansen gonna get the win in 26 minutes. Big win over the All-Asia Heavyweight Champion. That is massive. Then the co-main, probably Hase and Kawada. So Hase's gonna beat Kawada, so that's a huge win. As far as Toshiaki Kawada, tough 2 days. Lost to Shinya Hashimoto, and of course, losing to Hiroshi Hase here. Tough break. Tough break indeed. Koji Kanemoto, Jun Akiyama, why not? As Koji Kanemoto gonna get the win in 22 minutes. Then Doug Furnace and Shinya Hashimoto. Is Doug Furnace gonna get the win in 20 minutes. It's a massive win for Doug Furnace. And then Kensuke Sasaki, Ultimate Dragon. Battle of the Styles Clash battle here with Kensuke Sasaki and Ultimate Dragon. As Kensuke is gonna get the win, though. Size, beating, speed, And as far as, Kensuke with a big win. So then we got No Fear, taking on Roshi Tenzan and Yuji Nagata. Nagata's going to beat Yoshihiro Takayama. So that's a big win. As that's a nice little performance there from, hopefully, Yuji Nagata. And Los Profano, number 2. So basically, the Los Profano, the stable, which is the Unholy in Spanish. It's Vampiro, Damien, Psychosis, and the Headhunters. I think that's going to be a fun stable as far as how they're going to play out. It's going to be unique because, as you see, there's no heavyweight kind of singles guys. It's just the Headhunters as the heavyweights and the juniors, obviously, in Vampiro, Psychosis, and Damien. So we're going to have, as far as the finish for Los Pravano, as you will see, as it is Muerte Instiane. I think it's not Instiane. No, it is. I think that's instant death in Spanish. Either way, that's what it is in English. It's instant death. But I think to have a guillotine leg drop after the nail in the coffin, literally, that just sums up instant death, if you ask me. But yeah, Psychosis is going to get the win over Tomoichi because he's got a lot to work through, because he is still, obviously, at more the younger stages of his career. It sucks that he hasn't really worked anywhere. As you're going to see, his popularity is literally in the single digits, besides Mexico, which even then, in Mexico, for some reason, I could have swore he has not worked like a major company in a hot minute. Literally the whole time. So he's just been working the indies the entire time. But hopefully, it all works out here, as far as we've waited a long time to bring him in. As far as he was somebody I had penciled in when we started this, and just was waiting for the right time and the right moment, and I think it is now for Psychosis. We'll see if that is in fact true. But yeah, the 6-man matchup's going to be the Headhunters with Damien, as far as they will take on Takano brothers, Shinichi Nakano. Just makes sense. As we will have the Headhunters get a win. We'll have B get a win. He can beat Shinichi Nakano. Hopefully, obviously as a team, they have chemistry, Vampiro and Psychosis. If they don't, hopefully then Psychosis and Damien does. And if they don't have any chemistry either, then this was just doomed to fail. As far as we were doomed from the start. I guess we could run Kanto, because we'd be able to run the Komozawa Gymnasium, no problem, but might as well. Here we go, night 7. There's Psychosis with 47, that's not bad for a starting off point. That's Vampiro and Psychosis beating Ishii and Shiro Kashinaka. Vampiro almost outperformed Shiro Kashinaka, so that's a good sign for him. As, at least there was no negative chemistry there. So we'll gladly take that. Psychosis getting a win in his debut, too, is nice to see. So, No Fear, taking on Tenzan and Yuji Nagata. Good stuff, Yuji Nagata, best guy in the match. How about that? Yuji Nagata, though, pinning Yoshihiro Takayama with the belly-to-back suplex in 9:47. That's 78 for the Headhunters with Damien against Shinichi Nakano, George Takano, and Shinji Nakano. As Damien almost outperformed Shinji Nakano, so they were almost just the better team outright. Got the crowd buzzing. Announcing gave it a boost. Can't beat that. 90 for the Chamber Carnival matchup. Ultimo Dragon has just really been the MVP of this tournament, it seems like. But Gensuke Sasaki with the Strangled Gamma. 23-15, 2 points for that man. 84 for Doug Furnace and Shin Hashimoto. Shin Hashimoto did outperform him. But at least still, it going 20 on a tour show, we know Hashimoto can still perform at an 80, 81 overall rating. It's an 80 for Koji Kanemoto and Jun Akiyama. Koji Kanemoto, rather, with the Koji Clutch at 21-36. It's an 89 for Kawada and Hase. Hase with the Northern Light Suplex. In 28-25, it's a great win for Hase. That's major. You're beating a heavyweight champion. You're beating a champion Carnival winner. That's massive. 82 for Kaiji Muto and Stan Hansen. Sucks that Kaiji Muto was off his game. Stan Hansen, though, with a lariat win in 26-07. That's definitely one of the worst main events we've had so far in the Champion Carnival. That turned out to be one of the worst nights because of that. Which is funny enough, though. 82, we'll gladly take that for what is considered a tour show. So that's not too bad. But yeah, now after night 8, we'll take a look at the standings to see how all the participants are lined up after the first 4 nights of each block. So far, man, again, we've just been rolling right along. No injuries so far. Can't really ask for anything more. Alrighty, so we do have some things pre-booked as far as we have all of the matches Alright, so for night 8, we do have everything pre-booked now going forward, so that's going to be interesting. We just add everything now to the show. But also, obviously after this night, we'll be taking a look at the ratings. Or not the ratings, the standings, to see how everything is placed after the first 4 shows for each block. As for this show, the main event, I do love that Masawa-Regal matchup. Norman and Jericho could make a lot of sense too. Kobashi and Chono obviously makes sense as well. Darren Crawford's had a hell of a champion Carnival, so he could definitely be up there at the top echelon matches. I think we will go with Norman in Dr. Death, though, as Doc's going to get the win. We do need to put that on slow build. Poor Norman, though. I feel like he's had a pretty terrible tournament so far. Steven Regal and Masawa. We can go here as Regal. Back-to-back major victories for Steven Regal. He beats Masawa. He's beaten Steven Williams. I mean, he has just done a tremendous job. And Masawa a little unhappy about that. Makes sense. But that's huge. Absolutely huge. Kenta Kobashi, Masaru Chono. Kobashi's going to beat Chono there. That's 23. Yeah, then Crawford and Fuchi. As Dan Crawford's going to beat Masaru Fuchi. That's a nice win for Dan Crawford, who's had a hell of a tournament so far. And then Akira Taue beating the Gladiator, as last year, Awesome beat Taue in the Champion Carnival. So now this year, Taue gets that win. As, and now the little undercard matches. We'll go with this Big Titan Hayabusa Fuchi, or not Fuchi, Masato Tanaka Yoshinori Ogawa matchup, as Hayabusa's going to beat Ogawa. It's going to be 18 minutes. Then Los Pravano taking on, and that's going to be Vampiro, Damien, and Psychosis against the Fantastics, as Vampiro's going to beat Jackie Fulton there in 10 minutes. Then Chris Jericho going to beat Masashi Iwagi, as obviously we're going to try to help elevate Jericho there in that matchup. As, I think they haven't thrown Chubu, but I don't think that's the play. I think we're gonna run Osaka next. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be the Osaka Professional Gym for this one. yes, because I think we've ran everywhere. Yes, besides that, so perfect. Absolutely perfect for night 8. That's opener. Chris Jericho, the 61. Iwagi with a 55. Great win for Jericho, though. Went to the line, Tabor 938. He is definitely on the way up, as the Fantastics losing to Los Pravano. It's Vampiro with the nail in the coffin over Jackie Fulton, as a 936 for Vampiro. Damien and Psychosis and Vampiro all with 67, 57, 47, so that worked out well. Probably the wrong side wins. Bobby Fulton was the best guy in the match, so shout out to him. Fantastics did really well in this matchup, but we're trying to build up Los Pravano. And it's all a little junior 6-man, though, nonetheless. Jackie Fulton breaks his nose, which was caused by Vampiro. I'm kind of surprised that was caused by Vampiro. Wow, look at Masato Tanaka and Yoshinori Ogawa having excellent chemistry. The Holy Demon Army just keeps on getting better. As Hayabusa and Big Titan, they do get the win, however. As it was close, at least with from that perspective, but like Hayabusa and Ogawa, at least that made sense as far as Hayabusa getting the win over him with the Falcon Arrow, picking up the victory for the Big Titan Hayabusa team. But yeah, that Holy Demon Army teaming on Masato Tanaka and Ogawa works out there. Another 80, as Taue beating the Gladiator with the Dynamic Bomb in 20 minutes. 83 for Crawford and Fuchi. It's Crawford with the Cobra Clutch. Fuchi did outperform him, but it was pretty close. Could have went either way. 85 for Kobashi and Chono. Chono really off his game. Gets a 69 there. That is not good for a Champion Carnival rating, but at least we still get an 85. Orange Crush for Kobashi, though, nonetheless. 81 for Regal and Masawa. He does beat Masawa as far as the in-ring performance-wise. So a deserved win for Steven Regal. How about that? What a win. And 91 for our main event. Doc beats Norman with the backdrop driver. Fantastic stuff there. As now we get to take a look at the tournament standings at night 9. As this should be, as far as from here on out, we got a lot of guys that are needing some wins. I know the Gladiators starting off 0-4 for Block B. It's been a tough break for them as far as from that perspective. As Block A, yeah, Jun Akiyama is also 0 for 4 on this side of the bracket. Kensuke Sasaki, though, undefeated. I think a lot of people probably would have expected after the first 4 nights somebody like a Stan Hansen or Kaiji Muto, even a Shinya Hashimoto, to be to be winning this block, or even a Roshi Hase over Kensuke Sasaki. But he's gotten some big wins as well, beating Shinya Hashimoto and Stan Hansen, and Ultimo Dragon as well. Ultimo Dragon, obviously, with that 4 points, is pretty major. Kawada with only 3 is interesting. I think he's only got 1 win at this point. Has the draw with Kaiji Muto, of course, from the first night. And I think all around, this has been a pretty fun block. I've seen a lot of guys, I think, step up and deliver in a big way. And, it's obviously a lot of matches still left. But Kensuke Sasaki with 8 points, that's a great start. We'll see if he's going to be able to withstand that lead and be able to hang on to it, because he's got Stan Hansen right on his tail with 6. And a lot of guys with 4 points still, a lot of matches still left to come. Obviously, with the Champion Carnival tournament, as Taue with 8 points, he is also undefeated. So he's gotten wins over Dan Crawford, Kenta Kobashi, Norman Smiley, and the Gladiator. Obviously, the Gladiator with 0 points so far. Norman Smiley, Chono, and Fuchiyo with 2 points as well. Really, Kobashi, Regal, and Doc are the guys behind Taue. It's kind of crazy. Masao's only got 4 points. Dan Crawford, though, having 4 points is pretty impressive. I think it's been well-deserved so far, too. But he's done very, very well for himself in this Champion Carnival. Still a lot to happen, though, as far as Doc losing to Regal, though. So Regal has a big tiebreaker win. As far as from that perspective, same thing for Taue beating Kobashi. It's a big tiebreaker win. But yeah, so far, so good, I'd say, so far from this tournament. I've been pretty pleased with how everything's played out. As on to Night 9 we go. Alrighty, Night 9 is almost at double digits for the tour. Again, everything pre-booked, ready to go. Taue, and as far as passing on psychology tips to Masato Tanaka, I need to make him an Ogawa team. I forgot about that. To do that, which would be great to see. As far as for them, the Holy Demon Army getting better and better because of that. But yeah, Kaiji Muto Ultimo Dragon's got to be the main event. What a match they had at the Excite Series show. And of course, because, as far as Ultimo Dragon having, as far as losing twice to Kaiji Muto at, that was New Year Giant Series. I was thinking it was the Excite Series, but that was the New Year Giant Series. Obviously, both 99 matches when we did it at the Royal Road show in the New Year Giant Series show. Just makes sense to have it as far as Ultimo Dragon beating him right at the 29th minute as well. God damn it, Kaiji Muto, why don't you just be happy about putting somebody over? Come on, man. There we go, we keep it strong. There we go, talked them into it at least. Stan Hansen and Shinya Hashimoto, depending on how we have this set up, we might have it. Okay, we have a regular 22-minute matchup in this case. But Hashimoto's going to beat Stan Hansen. I think that's the right call. I know Stan's a little upset by that, but I think it's the right call to do. Doug Furnas and Kawada. What a fucking win for Doug Furnas. I don't know about all this, Chief. I mean, he did beat him already in the 93 Champion Carnival. I don't think we need to have Doug Furnas beating Tosha Kawada. I mean, A for effort, but I don't think he's going to outperform him. I don't think it's going to, I just don't think it's going to work out. Hiroshi Hase and Jun Akiyama. Hase is going to beat Jun Akiyama, so still keeping on losing is Jun Akiyama, and we'll see if Kensuke Sasaki is going to keep on winning. He will. So he's already at 10 points, just like that. That is a pretty solid start for him, as now Dean Malenko's got his broken jaw healed up, so time to build up to him and Terry Funk. Steelers show matchup here, 10-minute matchup, him and Eddie against Terry Funk and Brad Armstrong, as Eddie's going to beat Brad Armstrong there. Then Johnny Ace and Dan Spivey against Yoshi Kikuchi and Takeo Omori. Since we're having a, as far as Super Generation Army and Blonde Squad, 2 matches on this card like that, as far as Spivey's going to beat Takeo Omori. Since, of course, as far as, actually, no, this is the, it's having, we probably should have had maybe a Three Musketeer instead. I don't know why I was thinking Super Generation Army matchup for this card. I think it's another card down the line, where that's obviously when, Kobashi's taking on Stan Hansen. It's probably when we should have done that match, but that's okay. Yamazaki's going to beat Kazuchika Vegeta to start off the show. The more I think about it, let's change it. Change it up. Let's see. I think it would be a good match to have as far as for this. Because I was just going to do No Fear versus Flash and Smash. We might just do that. Yeah, it's been a while, as far as at least since the tag matches. So we will have TKO Mori get the win. Brad Renegans. Yeah, we'll still keep it at 16, I guess. Probably not the best of ideas, but we'll see how it goes. We'll change this as well. So look at that. Even though we have everything pre-booked, I'm still changing stuff. Sometimes you just gotta go with what you're feeling. I mean, I guess we'll run the Nagata City Gymnasium, even though it will not be a sellout. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Gotta get in where you fit in. A 49 for the opener. Yamasaki did well, but Kazuki Vegeta still struggling a little bit. He's still doing better than Tomohiro Ishii, so he does have that hang his hat on, but not the greatest of openers. Norton and Brad Renegans against TKO Mori and Yoshiro Takayama. At least TKO Mori, best guy in the match. He beats Brad Renegans with the back-to-belly pile driver in 16 minutes. An 80 for Dean and Eddie Guerrero versus Brad Armstrong and Terry Funk. It's crazy, Brad Armstrong was an 80 there. It's pretty impressive. Eddie pinning Brad Armstrong, though, with the frog splash. Great little matchup, though. Got the crowd buzzing for the Champion Carnival matches. Kensuke Sasaki beating Koji Kanemoto with the Stranglehold Gama for his 10th point. Jun Akiyama losing to Hiroshi Hase. It's a solid match. They've had some good matches along the way. 78 and 73, it was pretty close. Respectively, could have won either way. Kawada beating Doug Furnace with the Kawada driver. Nice win for Tough Track Kawada with his back-to-back victories for him. Nice to see Hashimoto beating Stan Hansen. He did outperform him, even with the stamina playing into a factor there. But jumping spike DDT for Shinya Hashimoto for Stan Hansen. You'll love to see it. And an 85 for the main event. Kaiji Muto did outperform him, but I think Ultimate Dragon deserved this win. He gets the win with the Dragon Sleeper over Kaiji Muto. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Sucks that we didn't get an 85 plus rating for the show, but we'll take it. It's still a solid main event. As on to Night 10 we go. Alrighty, Night 10. As they got us in the Sendai Sun Plaza for this, but Taue, Masato Tanaka, is Taue passing on psychology to Masato Tanaka there. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll just keep on going with the same kind of as far as same venues we were running, since we went from Night 1 to go to Night 2, just keep on going down the line. That seems to be the best case scenario, as for the main event, that's crazy, we're going to have a whole Demon Army matchup, though, of Taue and Fuchi. A lot of singles matches, and nothing but singles matches, but Doc and Kobashi's probably the main, as Kobashi's going to beat him. It's a big win for Kenta Kobashi, only the second guy to beat Doc. There is Taue and Fuchi. I just feel like that's got to be the co-main, as Taue's going to get the win in 20. So that's 5 straight wins for Taue, and he's got 10 points now. Yeah, we'll do Masawa and Norman. Seems fair. So Masawa's going to get the win. Oh no, there's a tag match of Terigordi and Taz against Tengoji. Okay. Then, let's go Gladiator and Steven Regal. There we go. Mike Awesome finally gets a win. He beats Steven Regal in 22 minutes. Damn. Regal is pissed. We will keep him strong. We've created a monster. And then Chono and Dan Crawford, which Masahiro Chono will win in 20 minutes. Poor Dan Crawford on that one. But Terry Gordy and Taz against Tenkoji here. Steelers Show matchup. Satoshi Kojima going to beat Taz. And then Sayama and Kentaro Shiga can go here. Satoru Sayama going to get the win in 10 minutes. And Giant Baba against Yuji Nagata. Obviously Nagata going to get the win. Giant Baba, we need him to lose here, as we're going to keep on trying to help elevate Yuji Nagata out of the unimportant section. And here we go, Giant Baba losing to Yuji Nagata. It's a terrible matchup, but at least Yuji Nagata's almost in the 60s, as far as that's still going on the right path there for him. Nice to see. 61 for Satoru Sayama against Kentaro Shiga. Diving headbutt from Satoru Sayama in 9:54. It's a solid little matchup there. 67 for Terry Gordy and Taz against Satoshi Kojima and Hiroshi Tenzan. It's Kojima pinning Taz to the cutter. The old Koji cutter there, but solid little, decent little matchup there. Wish it was a 70 plus rating for the Steelers Show matches, but that's okay. 79 for the Champion Carnival matchup between Masahiro Chono and Dan Crawford. As the Deathlock STF from Chono getting the win in 20 minutes. Solid stuff. 77 from the Gladiator and Steven Regal. What a Upset for the Gladiator. He definitely needs this win, though, does Mike Awesome. Getting the win with the Awesome Bomb over Steven Regal. And yeah, I think that's the right decision there. 77 from Norman. And Mitsuha Misawa's Norman outperformed him. That's fucking hilarious. What a win, though, for Misawa. 79s for both Taue and Fuchika to win either way, but giving that win to Taue with a dynamic bomb. In our main events, an 86, Kenta Kobashi beating Dr. Death with the Burning Hammer. Great win for Kobashi, beating the heavyweight champion. Of course, Doc and Kobashi always have tremendous matches anyways. But yeah, that was a solid night. Again, was hoping for an 85+ rating, but it is what it is. As on to night 11 we go. Alright, night 11. They got us at the Komazawa Gymnasium. I don't know about all... Oh, I guess that is in order. So we're just gonna keep on rolling. Fuck it. As, for... Just want to make sure we have no backstage incidents or anything. Okay, yeah. Thought we didn't. Sometimes you just gotta double check that type of thing. So, as far as the main event goes, man, that is a tough question. I love that Hasei Kensuke Sasaki match, especially since Kensuke's on a run right now of an undefeated streak until now in the tournament, as he's going to lose to Roshi Hasei there. Makes sense. Hasei's been incredible. The two teammates battling it out in the main event. Just feels like that's a story that needs to be told. Hashimoto versus Ultimo Dragon, set for Steal the Show, as Hashimoto's going to beat Ultimo Dragon. Stan Hansen and Doug Furnas can go here. Whoa, Doug Furnas is going to beat Stan Hansen. We were really going to give him a super fucking push, it looks like. I don't know about all that. I don't know if Doug's going to outperform him. We'll keep it, but I don't know. That's going to be pretty close. Koji Kanemoto and Kaiji Muto should probably be higher. Now looking at it, yeah, Kaiji Muto going to get the win there, though, over Kanemoto. Yeah, we'll just have that be before Hashimoto and Ultimo Dragon. Jun Akiyama and Toshiaki Kawada will start it off. Jun Akiyama gonna beat Toshiaki Kawada. Whew. This list is massive. Obviously, Kawada's always beaten him. Jun Akiyama at this rate has 0 points in the tournament. He could use a win. And I think that'd be a massive win. Yeah, Kawada's gonna be upset, but we're making a guy. Let's have it be the co-main. That'd be fun. Hell yeah. What a show. A lot of wins, a lot of major upsets. And Doug Furnas beating Stan Hansen, Jun Akiyama beating Kawada. It's massive. Absolutely massive. So the 3 matches we have, as this big-ass 8-man, it's El Samurai, Jushin Liger, and Tenkoji against Too Cold Scorpio, The Great Sasuke, and Flash and Smash, as Kojima's going to beat Brad Renegans in 11 minutes. We also have this set as a Steal the Show matchup. Big Titan Hayabusa against Manabu Nakanishi and Naria Hanaga can go here, as obviously the Hayabusa Big Titan team's going to win. This is a bit of a one-sided affair there. And then Super Astro against Machizuki, which again, obviously, Machizuki going to be losing there, as we can just turn that to a regular matchup. Alrighty. Run the show on 68 for Super Astro and Machizuki. It's the Astro Scissors for Super Astro in 954. Not bad at all. 74. Look at them. Manabu Nakanishi and Naria Hanaga have excellent chemistry. Sometimes you just throw shit at the wall and it sticks. Big Titan and Hayabusa, they'll get the win. Nonetheless, Hayabusa with a Falcon Arrow. It's good stuff there. It's a good little win. And 80 for El Samurai, Jushin Liger in the Tenkoji team against the Great Sasuke, Flash, and Smash into Cold Scorpio, as Satoshi Kojima pinning Brad Renegans against the Lariat. But yeah, Liger with a 90, Sasuke with an 82. El Samurai gets a 73 there. And yeah, just a nice little heavyweight, junior heavyweight 8-man. It's always fun to see it. But an 80, though, nonetheless. It's a nice little undercard match. 78 for Stan Hansen and Doug Furnas, the Frankensteiner. Would love to see 1997 Stan Hansen take a Frankensteiner. That'd be pretty electric. Kaiji Muto going to beat Koji Kanemoto with the Moonsault in 25-17 there. Obviously, big win for Kaiji Muto, who's been on a roll. Hashimoto beating Ultimo Dragon with a Jumping Spike DT. Another phenomenal matchup, which, having this be a Steal the Show matchup, I think really worked out well, because it helps benefit, obviously, Hashimoto, but so did Ultimo Dragon. I think having these two big guys, power versus speed, and having it be kind of like a Flash, 10-minute matchup is pretty awesome. As then set up nicely for this co-main event is Jun Akiyama with the wrist clutch Death Valley driver over Toshiaki Kawada. What an upset, what a win for Jun Akiyama, which means our main event is an 87 with Hiroshi Ase beating Kensuke Sasaki. Sasaki getting his first loss in the tournament, but I think obviously the right guy wins. And it's a great main event, too. Obviously, Koji Kanemoto and Kaiji Muto probably still should have been the co-main, but it is what it is. They're still a solid show there for night 11. It's on to night 12. We go. Alright, night 12, Sendai Sun Plaza. Feel like, yeah, we're just gonna keep on rolling. Kind of feel like we actually skipped a day. Now I'm thinking about, yeah, we didn't do the Hiroshima Sun Plaza. There we go. Nailed it. Yeah, that's obviously the main event. Kenta Kobashi, Mitsuha Misawa. Misawa's gonna beat him right before the 30-minute mark. Man, these two, I would love if they got 100. I don't think it's gonna happen, though, because that is a tour show. But, man, you could just see the match history. So many matches that they've been involved in. Last time, as far as singles-wise, was last year at the Champion Carnival Finals. As far as that is pretty wild to think. Kobashi beat him last year, and then they had the Unified Grand Heavyweight title, which again, Kobashi won that match back in October. Which I want to say, that was the first time that Kobashi beat Misawa in the singles matchup. There's the draw. And I want to say Misawa had beaten him before that. We're just going to keep on. Here's another draw. Jesus. There's, when's the first time they had a single? There we go. Misawa, Kobashi. That was a 99. That's crazy. It's been that long since they've had a singles match where Misawa won. Obviously, completely different to what happened in real life, obviously, as far as it was until 2003 when Kobashi beats him. That's wild. Much deserved win for Mitsuha Misawa, though, that's for sure. Major win. Major. Yeah, British Combat Club, I think, should be a great co-main event there, and that's going to be a 30-minute draw. So I think the idea of potentially teasing 2 30-minute draws back-to-back is a fun idea. But 1 point each for the British Combat Club. Then Dan Crawford versus Dr. Death. Stock's going to beat him in 21 minutes. Taue and Chono. Is Taue going to keep the undefeated streak? No, he will lose here for the first time in the tournament. As Chono is going to get the win there. That's 2 points for him. Going to get the win probably with the Yakuza kick. Then Fuchi versus the Gladiator. As Mike Awesome gets a win again. That's just size versus speed there, as far as that goes. Johnny Ace and Jericho against the Fantastics can go here. I think that's a solid matchup. So Jericho's going to get the win in 18 minutes. Tenzan and Kojima and Yuji Nagata against Riki Choshu, Shira Kashinaka and Tomohiro Ishii. So that's a 10-minute matchup. Then Los Pravano against Shudo, as we will set that for Steal the Show, because we need a Steal the Show matchup. Damien, he's going to beat Kyoshi Demora, since Kyoshi Demora's got an MMA matchup coming up. Wow, Kyoshi Demora's super pissed by that. We'll keep it strong so we don't piss him off royally there. But yeah, that should actually go next. Alright, so I mean, it's all a little show. We'll see what happens. A 63 for the opener. So yeah, Ishii with a 24. He's getting better. Slowly but surely. Tenzan, best guy in the match, though. Yuji Nagata, though, with a brainbuster over Riki Choshu. Love it. 63 for Los Pravano against Shudo, as Damien with the marionette over Kyoshi Demora. Yeah, I mean, Psychosis, he's getting better, slowly but surely. Obviously, you gotta start somewhere. But Sayama with the 67-63 for Kyoshi Demora. I mean, at least him and Damien was close. I don't know why he was complaining so much about losing, but it is what it is. 71 for Johnny Ace and Jericho against Bobby Fulton. And Tommy Rogers is Jericho the Lion Tamer over Bobby Fulton. It's a great win, and that's a solid match, though. Very, very solid. Gaijin tag match. 81 for Fuchi and the Gladiator. Fuchi with an 80, and then 71 for the Gladiator. Just solid stuff all around. As an awesome bomb in 20 minutes there. You love it. Taue and Chono. As Taue losing to Masahiro Chono. The Deathlock STF win. Of course, he outperformed it by 1 point, but I think this was a solid match, though. And obviously, we got so many better matches coming up, though. As an 87 for Steve Williams and Dan Crawford. Backdrop driver again from Doc, who's been fantastic throughout this tournament. Same thing here with Norman Smiley and Steven Regal. 83s. I think that was a perfect draw. 87 there, building up to the main event. And it's a 99. Kobashi and Misawa. Emerald Flosion right before the 29-minute mark. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. 96 for the show rating. Yeah. That's going to be a tough tour show to beat, as far as that was fantastic. We'll take a look at the standings after night 14, so just these next two shows, and then basically we'll be halfway done. We're already at the, a little bit more at the halfway point, but we'll just have 4 more shows after that, just nights 15, 16, 17, and 18. So just the almost at the final stretch here, and on to night 13 we go. Alrighty, night 13 here, as we got a pretty jam-packed show, though. As far as it's going to be tough to top that previous show, though. Jesus Christ. Don't think that's going to be a possibility. Yeah, we're on the Nakajima Sports Center. So for night 13, the main event. Man, I mean, Kaiji Muto, Hiroshi Hase is always a personal favorite. Kawada and Stan Hansen's probably going to be the main now. And Stan Hansen's going to be Toshiaki Kawada. That's a huge win for Stan Hansen. Kaiji Muto versus Hiroshi Hase can be the co-main, as Kaiji Muto's going to get the win there. Then probably, Hashimoto and Koji Kanemoto, it's a fun little, as far as styles clash affair there, but Hashimoto's going to beat Kanemoto, which we're going to give them some time, though, see what they can do with it. Doug Furnas versus Ultimo Dragon. Doug Furnas going to beat Ultimo Dragon. Great win there for Doug Furnas. And Jun Akiyama versus Kensuke Sasaki, set for this for Steel Show because they have terrible chemistry, as Jun Akiyama's going to beat him, though, in 10 minutes. They've had one singles match, I believe. Yes, that was the 95 Champion Carnival. So it's been a long time. But they get that rematch, and Jun Akiyama's going to get the win there. So Eddie and Chris are going to take on the Tactical Tactician Squad in their first tag team, the junior tag team title matchup at the finals of the Champion Carnival here. So that's why this match is taking place. 6-man tag. Dean Malenko's going to beat Otani, though, in 17 minutes. Los Bravano are going to take on Big Titan, Akitoshi Saito, Hayabusa, Jinsei Shinzaki, and Akira. I know that's kind of a mixed bag there, but we just got to throw some names at people. But this is happening, though, at the final show, as far as Los Bravano is going to take on the Gladiator Titans, Hayabusa, Jinsei Shinzaki, and then Firecat, which those to replace Akira. Well, I'm thinking about it, and put Firecat in there, because at least that makes sense. There we go. But Psychosis will be beating Firecat, though. Oh, there we go. Make sure that's it. Actually, it's yeah, let's have him beat Akitoshi Saito, actually. There we go. Then Kyoshi Tamura against Kentaro Shiga. No, we just had Kyoshi Tamura lose, so that's why I wanted to at least give him a win. I know he's leaving soon, but, that doesn't mean we have to job him out. But we should be good to go on this, yes. Yes, we are. Perfect. So 57 for the opener. Kyoshi Tamura getting the win. 941. Nice little matchup there. Kentaro Shiga getting better, but still got a ways to go. As Los Bravano beating the team of Big Titan, Akitoshi Saito, Hayabusa, Jinsei Shinzaki, and Firecat, as the guillotine leg drop from Akitoshi Saito. Onto Akitoshi Saito by Psychosis, who Psychosis does outperform him. So that's awesome. He was off his game, too. He would outperform Firecat probably if he was on his game. And, yep, getting better already. Love it. Our junior division's so awesome. I love the 90s juniors, and you can definitely tell, as far as with this roster, anybody that was basically a great talent in the 90s that was a junior, really, besides not having Taka Michinoku or Grand Naniwa, or even Dick Togo, for that matter. There's a couple of juniors we don't have. I wanted to at least leave some of them open, as far as not taking everybody, but at some point we probably will, by the time this series ends. 78, though, for Eddie, Chris, and Dean here. They're going to beat the Tactical Tactician Squad. Hello match, though, as obviously Dean Malenko getting the win over Shinjiro Otani. But Otani and Eddie, of course, had that great Starrcade match. That'd be the 2 years before at that point. We talked about it kind of when we had the singles match between them. I want to say that was at the either Best Super Juniors or the J Cup. But a fun match, though. Obviously Dean and Chris and Eddie are killing it right now. 76, though, for Jun Akiyama and Kensuke Sasaki. Not bad for a negative chemistry matchup, but Jun Akiyama with the wrist clutch Fisherman's Buster. It's a nice win. Right guy wins. Got the crowd buzzing somehow, too, so that's nice. 78 for Doug Furnas on Ultimo Dragon. Another Frankensteiner. It's Doug Furnas beating Ultimo Dragon in 2030. 83 for Hashimoto and Koji Kanemoto. Jumping spike DDT is Hashimoto still bringing it. Still bringing it, even though stamina's an issue. Kaijimoto Roshiase, they have pretty good chemistry. Lifts the match here. Kaijimoto with the moonsault, though, he's been fantastic, though. He's probably been, I would say, if I had to tout somebody as a wrestler of the year for 1997, early odds-on favorite would be Kaijimoto. I mean, the match with Funk, the matches with Ultimate Dragon, the matches he's had this Champion Carnival's been fantastic. 99, though, for Kawada and Stan Hansen. What a match, as Stan Hansen getting the win with the Lariat over Toshiaki Kawada. Hell of a match, though. As, and it's another 96, so it did exactly the same as Night 12. That is massive. Absolutely massive. But yeah, after Night 14, we'll take a look at the standings to see how the final 4 shows are going to lay out. So far, it's been pretty impressive. We've seen some impressive upsets. We've, as far as Toshiaki Kawada, I think for the first time ever in a Champion Carnival, when you kind of look at it, he's probably got more losses than he does wins at this rate. Which is pretty, pretty crazy to think. As, on to Night 14 we go. Alrighty, as, Night 14 at the Yokohama, I forgot what it was called, now I just saw Yokohama and blanked, but, Taue passing on tips on psychology to Masato Tanaka. As, I was about to say, I thought it was the Cultural Gym, yes, that is correct, but we'll not be running there. As, we're going back to the Star Lanes. That makes sense. As, for the main event, Taue and Doc makes a lot of sense, and Doc's gonna beat him. So, down goes Taue's streak. Doc gets the win there in 23 minutes. You love to see it. Then probably Regal and Kobashi, though. That's a hell of a match. So Kobashi's gonna beat him. 29 minutes. Banger. Absolute banger. Chono and Fuchi. That could go either way, to be honest. As far as match history goes, it's the first time meeting, so it could go badly. I kind of want to give it to Fuchi. I think that's the play. I think that is the play. We'll see how it goes. Then Misawa and Crawford, which should be a really good matchup, actually. Misawa's going to get the win. It's a Steal the Show matchup, so they must have good chemistry. That's what you're telling me there. Yeah, 1993 is the last time they had a singles matchup, so yes, that would be it. Then the Gladiator against Norman Smiley. Norman's going to beat him. Mike Awesome was on a run for a bit, but gets put out there. As a Hayabusa and Jinsei Shinzaki against Los Pravano. As we don't need a Steel Show matchup now. Just put that as regular. But Jinsei Shinzaki is going to get a win over Psychosis. I think he needs to get a win, first of all. And I think Hayabusa and Shinzaki, obviously the better team. And all around, I think it should be a pretty solid matchup, though. Yeah, then Johnny Smith versus Super Strong Machine. Johnny Smith getting a win. Aoyagi and Osamu Kido against the Technical Technician Squad. As Otani and Tomohara could use wins here over Aoyagi, but we're going to give to Otani there in 10 minutes. But a pretty solid little show. We're definitely rolling the dice with Taue being in the main, but I think he's going to deliver. Obviously, he was the #1 wrestler of 1996, so you'd think they would let him perform at a high level. But yeah, Shinjiro Otani, best guy in the match. Makes sense, gets the win there with the Dragon Suplex in 10-13. 72 for Johnny Smith in Super Strong Machine. Johnny Smith, I think, I would love to see him in a Champion Carnival at this rate. He's solid, and he does just as well as the Gladiator, to be honest, so definitely could see that happening as far as in the future. Hayabusa and Jinsei Shinzaki beating Damien and Psychosis. Solid match, though. Super solid. Jinsei Shinzaki, though, getting the win. Beautiful stuff. 13-16. 81 for Mike Awesome and Norman Smiley. Yeah, literally, he was better than him. As Johnny Smith was a 71 and the Gladiator 63, I think that kind of proves our point. But yeah, I mean, Norman, better guy, gets the win there with the Norman Conquest. 76 for Misawa and Dan Crawford. Yeah, they definitely do not click. It was a solid matchup, though, nonetheless. Tiger Drive from Misawa getting the win in 10 minutes. Got the crowd buzzing. Is he at Chono and Fuchi? Yep, Chono outperformed. They have great chemistry, though, so that's awesome to see. Chono losing that one, which is unfortunate, but as far as from that perspective, I think it was a hell of a match, though. Solid. Solid of 8. And 92 for Regal and Kobashi. It's going to Kobashi with the Brainbuster in 28-38. We're setting up for a pretty banger show. And the main event doesn't deliver, of course, because Doc beats Taue with a backdrop driver in 22:41. Hell of a win. Hell of a win for Doc and Kobashi, but man, that's been an interesting tournament so far to see Taue finally lose here. Hopefully, as far as it's not such a one-sided Block A affair, we will have to wait and see as far as how that plays out. But yeah, obviously we have 15, 16, 17, and 18 left. This is massive, though. This is absolutely massive to see how everything has played out. As I don't know why I said Block A when it's Block B, obviously, since it was an even number show. But for Block A, Kensuke Sasaki still in the lead with his 2 shows left. Kaiji Muto's got 9, Hase and Doug Furnace, though. Doug Furnace with 8 is crazy. Like, he's got more points than Kawada. He's got the same as Hansen. And there's a lot of people, though, right at the bubble, though. You know, Shin Yoshimoto and Stan Hansen with 8 is impressive. It's crazy that the bottom 3 is Kanemoto, Jun Akiyama, and then Toshiaki Kawada. Wild. I mean, this man has once went undefeated during a Champion Carnival, where he won all but one, and it was a draw, the other one. So it's just kind of crazy to think how this has rocked him. This Champion Carnival definitely rocked him. Losing to guys like Jun Akiyama, and losing to guys like, as far as, that was definitely an upset, and even the Hase one maybe potentially was, but like losing to Hashimoto and Stan Hansen's tough. You know, it was a tough block. I think both blocks were super tough for both guys. As far as for both, you know, Block A and Block B, I don't think there was an easy win throughout the entire block, to be honest. For Block B, though, boy, a 4-way tie for first with 10 points. So we've got Taue, Kobashi, Masawa, and Doc. Obviously, Doc with the tiebreaker win over Taue is massive. With Masawa, you know, he obviously has a tiebreaker loss to Kobashi, or rather a tiebreaker win over Kobashi. So that is massive for him. And of course, really I would say Kobashi's not in this. You know, he lost to Taue, he's lost to Masawa. Tiebreaker-wise, I just don't think it's going to be fair for him. But when you think about it like this, so he does have the tiebreaker win over Dr. Death Steve Williams. So maybe potentially if Taue starts slipping and so does Masawa, then that can play into a big factor, but I just don't see it happening. But a 4-way tie for first is quite impressive. Steven Regal's got 7, Chono with 6, and I would say Crawford, Fuchi, Norman with 5, and the Gladiator all, I don't think they have a chance in hell, obviously. They probably won't even get double digits as far as Chono's the only one who has a chance to reach 10, but other than that, like him and Regal, but I just don't see it happening. That is pretty impressive, though. But for night 14 in the books, on to night 15 we go. Alrighty, night 15. Backstage incidents. What's Mrs. Baba doing? As she helped create a fun and relaxed atmosphere backstage after finding a discarded karaoke machine and starting an impromptu pre-show competition. So her melodies of power ballads apparently stole the show. As Taue passing on psychology to Masato Tanaka. As for this show, though, obviously we won't be running Kanto. I guess we could run the Goddess City Gymnasium again. Didn't really think about it. Or even the Wakayama Prefectural Gym, or the World Memorial Hall. Yeah, I think we're gonna run Kobe here. I think that's the play. Yeah, the main event. That is a great question. I mean, Kawada and Kensuke, just from what they have done in this tournament, probably should be the main. Kawada beats him. There we go, Toshiaki Kawada. Finally getting some major wins under his belt. Hase and Hashimoto. It's a fun match. 20-minute matchup. Hase's going to beat him. That's a big win, beating Shinya Hashimoto like that. Jun Akiyama, Kaiji Muto. Kaiji Muto's going to beat him in 25 minutes. It's a big win. I believe we now have a new leader for Block A, being Kaiji Muto. It's Koji Kanemoto, Doug Furnace. Doug Furnace is going to beat Koji Kanemoto here. I feel bad, but we'll keep it. Ultimo Dragon, Stan Hansen. Stan Hansen's going to beat Ultimo Dragon in 20. So now we have Terry Funk and Brad Armstrong against Big Titan and Hayabusa. Also Eddie, Wild Pegasus, and Dean Malenko against the Fighting World Choshu. Which that seems like that should go before this. So Terry's going to beat Big Titan in 12. Eddie, Pegasus, and Dean Malenko. Fighting World Choshu. Dean's going to beat Ricky Choshu there in 10 minutes rather. Jesus, is Ogawa beating Fujita. in 10 minutes there. But yeah, well, you know, as far as, I think it should be a solid little matchup. Little light on the undercard, but we'll see. It was Ogawa beating Kazuka Fujita in 9:51. I mean, it's a poor match from kind of the standards of matches, but for an opener standpoint of a tour show, it's not bad. 77 for Dean, Chris, and Eddie against the Fighting World Choshu, as Ricky Choshu tapping out to the Texas Cloverleaf. Bad day for the Fighting World Choshu, that's for sure. It's an 80 for Terry Funk and Brad Armstrong against Hayabusa and Big Titan as Terry beating Big Titan with a spinning toe hold. Love it. 87 for Stan Hansen and Ultimo Dragon. 83 couldn't win either way. But Stan Hansen beats Ultimo Dragon in 20 minutes. 77 for Kanemoto and Doug Furnace. Doug Furnace with Frankensteiner in 20 minutes. Kaiji Muto with the Moonsault over Jun Akiyama there in 25 minutes. And then 83 for Hashimoto and Hase. Yep, should have stuck with Kaiji Muto there, but still a solid matchup, an upset. But a slight one, though. Hase with the Northern Light Suplex, which, depending on how big Hashimoto's gotten, which I'm assuming he's kind of close to his Fat Elvis days of the run of his career, but that's a big motherfucker to be hitting a Northern Light Suplex on. That is for sure. And an 80 for a main event. Man, Kawada really off his game, gets outperformed. Kawada's just stunk up the joint this Champion Carnival. I don't know what it is. That's brutal. Absolutely brutal. Can't believe that. That's unfortunate. Well, for night 16, no. Almost at the final night for Block B here, as obviously we'll be going to the go-home shows in a little bit. But, I mean, big win for Kaiji Muto, first of all. As, that's massive. Absolutely massive to be in the lead so close to the end. As, on to night 16 we go. Alrighty, night 16. Let's see how it plays out here as Super Astro and Kensuke Sasaki have the backstage instance here. It's Super Astro brighten the backstage area. Something about being so cheerful and fun to be around. Way to go, Super Astro. As Kensuke Sasaki lifted the locker room when he organized and won a video game tournament. Hell yeah. I'm trying to remember. I think Virtual Pro Wrestling 2 came out in 99, I want to say. And I think the first one came out in 97, I want to say. Because WCW NWO World Tour, I want to say, came out in 96. Might have been 97. Either way. Yeah, somewhere. I want to say it was 96, because, yeah, WCW NWO Revenge came out in 98. So that would make sense. Shelf life goes. But yeah, that's what they're playing. Long story short, that's what they're playing, Virtual Pro Wrestling. On the N64. What a time. As, let's see, main event. I mean, Doc and Fuchi probably be the best case scenario there. Doc's going to beat him in 22 minutes. And Taue Masawa. Masawa's going to beat Taue. I think that's the right call. 28 minutes. It's a nice win. Kobashi and Norman. Norman's going to beat Kenta Kobashi. That's a huge win, first of all. Crawford over Steven Regal. No, that is right. Dan Crawford is going to beat Steven Regal. So that's a big win for Dan Crawford. Then Masaru Chono losing to the Gladiator. What an upset. Chono is pissed. I can definitely see why. Mike Awesome's been struggling. Just a little bit. As, Wellington Wilkins Jr. versus Sho Funaki. Funaki's going to get the win in 18 minutes. Then Norton and... actually, both these kind of suck. The Kano brothers against Akatoshi Saito and Mitsuya Yamamoto. Let's go with, just to make this a little bit easier, let's give it to the Masato Tanaka Yoshinari Ogawa team. Yeah, I think that'll just be a little bit better. So they'll have Masato Tanaka get a win. Just trying to help elevate Masato Tanaka. And then Scott Norton and Manabu Nakanishi against No Fear. This is set for Steal the Show, as Takayama's going to beat Manabu Nakanishi. So they had a match, I was about to say, that was February, back at the Excite Series Tour, Night 6. That was the 61 when we did it then. Hopefully, it will be just the same, if not better, this time around. But yeah, we're good to go on that. We just need to pick a venue. We'll go with the Sendai Sun Plaza it is. Even though we just ran there for night 10. It's been, at least a couple of days at least. 66 for the opener, as Masato Tanaka and Yoshinari Okawa beating the Mitsuya Momoto Akatoshi Saito team. Yeah, definitely the right call. Masato Tanaka getting the win with the Tornado DDT in 9:34. 62 for Norton and Manabu Nakanishi as far as Flash and Bash as far as this one goes. As Takayama pinning Manabu Nakanishi with the German suplex. Yes, that's the right call. Obviously, better team gets the win there. 72 for Wellington Wilkins Jr. and Shinichi Funaki is Funaki getting the win with the Sean capture in 18:23. Nice little matchup though. 76 for Chono and the Gladiator. It's Mike Awesome with an awesome bomb in 20 minutes. It's a big win. Dan Crawford beating Steven Regal. Outperformed in 2 Tiger Driver in 24 minutes. Hell yeah. 85 for Kobashi and Norman Smiley. Norman Conquest for Norman Smiley over Kenta Kobashi. Tough break there. Probably could have gave it to Norman, or probably rather gave it to Kenta Kobashi there. Would have been a little bit better of a matchup, but it is what it is. Masawa beating Akira Taue with the Tiger Driver in 27 minutes. They have pretty good chemistry though, and got the crowd hotter for our main event. Which is an 82 as they don't click. Doc and Fuchi unfortunately there. As I want to say that was the first time meeting, so that's why we didn't know that. But the Doc was off his game too. But yeah, fortunate we don't get a rematch for this, as for the heavyweight title, because that would have been unfortunate. But unfortunate that was the main event, as we should have stuck with Masawa and Taue. Kind of in hindsight there, but we just have our final 2 shows of the tournament left, nights 17 and 18, to see who will be going on to the finals. But we have a hell of a card lined up, though. We got the Terry Funk, Dean Malenko matchup lined up, the junior heavyweight title matchup between Sasuke and Liger, the junior tag team title matchup as well on that card, and we'll have to see who will be in the finals, as will it be, as far as for Block A, will it be Kaiji Muto? Will he go on to beat Kensuke Sasaki? Or Kensuke Sasaki get a major win, first of all? Doug Furnace and Hiroshi Hase, of course, they are battling it out to see, if Hase wins, and Kensuke Sasaki beats Kaiji Muto, Hase gets in. So that would be massive to see, as far as from that perspective. Then Stan Hansen, as far as he lost to Doug Furnace, but he beat Hiroshi Hase, so he's got to hope for a Hase win. And he also lost to Kensuke Sasaki, but beat Kaiji Muto, which even then, Stan Hansen's basically mathematically eliminated. Unless they have a draw, and then he would basically luck out and be able to get that tiebreaker win over Kaiji Muto would help out. So a lot of different variables there in that matchup. But yeah, that all gets washed away if Kaiji Muto wins, outright. And he'll finish with 13. So big day for him. We will see how that plays out. Alrighty, moment of truth time. We'll get to see who will be winning Block A. It's the final show for Block A, as Taue is passing on Psychology to Masato Tanaka. As let's see, obviously the main will be Kaiji Muto and Kensuke Sasaki. Kaiji Muto wins. He is going on the Block A. Massive win for the All Asia Heavyweight Champion. So then we got Kawada and Ultimo Dragon. Kawada's going to beat him. It's a nice win. Doug Furnace and Hiroshi Hase. Hase beats him. Hiroshi Hase was that fucking close from making it to the finals. That would have been huge. Would have been massive to see. Jun Akiyama and Shinya Hashimoto can go here. Jun Akiyama's going to beat him. So obviously, because Hashimoto... So actually, this was already set in place, but since Hashimoto already wants to put him over, this works out very, very well. But yeah, going to struggle a little bit stamina-wise with Hashimoto. And then Stan Hansen's going to beat Koji Kanemoto in 20 minutes. So Stan's going to finish with 12. Hase finishes with 12, and Kaiji Muto finishing with 13. Was so close to making it to the finals was Hiroshi Hase. Jun's going to finish with 6. Kawada's going to finish with 9. Crazy does not finish with double-digit points. But hell of a show, though. Hell of a fucking show. For a lot of great showing here. I think this kind of showed, with Kanemoto being the only guy with 4 points, I think this kind of showed how deep this bracket was. But yeah, for Block B now, as far as Masawa and Doc are tied We could have a champion versus champion finals, which would be pretty electric. Misawa has Fuchi left, and Doc has Chono left. And of course, if it is a draw, or if it's 14-14, as far as Misawa did lose to Doc, so Doc would go on to the finals due to a tiebreaker. As far as, really with everything else though, if Doc and Misawa both lose, Kobashi, he did lose to Misawa, so he's not going to get the tiebreaker win, even though he beat Doc. So, there is that, as far as he just kind of gets fucked over. Taue, basically the same thing, lost to Misawa and lost to Doc, so there's no way he's going to be able to win. So yeah, basically it comes down to Doc and Misawa, really, as far as for the finals, to see who's going on to face Kaiji Muto. Is it going to be champion versus champion? Be Misawa versus Kaiji Muto? A lot can happen. A lot can definitely happen. That's Stan Hansen, though, beating Koji Kanemoto, obviously. As Johnny Ace, Chris Jericho, Terry Funk, Brad Armstrong, giving that to Terry Funk, obviously. Los Bravano taking on Big Titan, Hayabusa, and Firecat and Jinsei Shinzaki. Obviously, this is setting up for the 10-man, with the 4-man here, but Psychosis is going to be Firecat in 10 minutes, then Kikuchi beating Tomohiro Ishii in the opener as the Young Lion quote-unquote matchup. Yeah, I guess we can run Chubu here, and then the Gata City Gymnasium for night 17. It's a 60 for the opener, Kikuchi beating Tomohiro Ishii in 9:42. Nice little matchup there. 77 for Los Bravano over the Big Titan Hayabusa Firecat Jinsei Shinzaki team. Guillotine leg drop, though, from Psychosis over Firecat. Now Psychosis is the worst kind of matchup. Makes sense, but Headhunter A and Damian were both off their games. All around it was an okay little matchup. Could have been better, could have been worse, too, at the same time. Hayabusa, though, doing the heavy lifting of most of that matchup. Brad Armstrong and Terry Funk is a hell of a team, though. I know that much. Terry Funk pinning Johnny Ace with a pile driver in 1945. 88 for Stan Hansen, Koji Kanemoto. Stan Hansen with the lariat. It's a great win for Stan Hansen. Jun Akiyama beating Shinya Hashimoto with the upset win. Off his game was Jun Akiyama. Hashimoto really, was not in his bag here, again, with the 23-minute matchup, but just sucks that Jun Akiyama, such a big moment, and he blows it with a terrible performance. Hase beating Doug Furnace, though. What a win for Hiroshi Hase. It's a tough break that doesn't go on to the finals, but, Kaiji Muto's just been incredible this tournament, and I think he definitely belongs in the main event of the Champion Carnival Finals and in as a winner of a block. Kawada beating Ultimo Dragon. They did the exact same, though. 84s across the board. Hell of a match. And Kaiji Muto with the moonsault, and he is your Block A winner. What a potential finals, though. If it's champion versus champion finals, that's going to be electric. Even if it's Misawa and Kaiji Muto, that is still a phenomenal main event, though, nonetheless. Just fantastic stuff. On to the final night of the tournament we go. Alright, time to see how the Champion Carnival will be played out here. As main event, what do you have it be, is the question. Oh man, this is tough, because it literally could go either way, obviously, with Misawa and Doc. I would probably have the Misawa. Yeah, because, if Misawa wins, I think that sets it up more as far as, that should probably not be the main. It should probably be Doc. So, yeah, we'll have Doc and Chono be the main, which Doc will win. So now, the pressure is on for Misawa. Because Misawa, obviously, has to. Which, even then, actually, I would even say, the pressure's on for Misawa. The pressure is on. So, yeah, I guess that should be last then. I don't know what I'm thinking. But Masafuchi beats Misawa. So we will, in fact, have champion versus champion in the finals. Boy, oh boy. What a finals, indeed. Two guys that have never been in the finals of the Champion Carnival since we've been booking this. which is pretty impressive since Doc's been here from day one. He's finally in the finals as the champion too. I'm trying to remember when's the last time, if any, as far as like when, because like I'm trying to remember if there's ever been a champion that's won the Champion Carnival. Because Kobashi won it in '96 is probably the closest. Yeah, that was actually when he was champion. So last year was in fact would be the last time. That's kind of wild to think, which is kind of funny in the fact of he lost to Kawada, as far as in May, after being the champion in the Champion Carnival. That's wild. Absolutely wild. But what a case if you're the All Asia Heavyweight Champion in Kaiji Muto. You've had a hell of a year so far. If you can beat the Heavyweight Champion, I mean, that's just massive. Absolutely massive. Taue and Steven Regal. Taue wins. So Taue had a really good chance of making it all the way here if some things would have went his way. First of all, if he would have either had Misawa lost to somebody else, if he would have lost to if he would have lost to Kobashi, perhaps it would have been perfect for him because he and Kobashi would have been stuck here at 10. Well, actually, he would have been at 12, but he would have been able to tie both Kobashi, and if Doc would have lost, he would have finished with 12. That would have been about the only way he would have made it, but yeah, that's a tough break for Taue, but hey, you lose some. It is what it is. Comes down to it. It's a tough tournament. We all can't be winners. Norman's going to beat Dan Crawford, though, and Kobashi in the Gladiator, as Kobashi will win. So Kobashi's going to finish with 12 as well, which is just unfortunate for him. Hell of a Final Four, though, if I do say so myself. As far as Kira and Chris Jericho, yeah, that'll probably be the 10-minute match, actually. Because this should probably be a little higher. Yeah, Holy Demon Army against Satoru Osaka and Hideki Osaka's Ogawa's going to beat Satoru Osaka in 12 minutes. And then the Tactical Technician Squad of Minoru Tanaka and Tomoe Honda against Firecat and Jinsei Shinzaki. Yeah, should probably be a lot lower. So, perfect. So, as far as we won't go through the card of the Champion Carnival Finals, mainly because I don't have it completed. I only have 6 matches lined up already. Need a final 2, and we'll just probably take a little bit of a break here after finish the tournament, just to kind of think about those 2 matches. Because I might have an All-Asia Tag Team title matchup. That would probably make a lot of sense, and I might even do a Holy Demon Army, World Tag Team title matchup too, instead. Might even just have both of the tag team titles on the line, who knows. Got a lot of different plans, I know that much. That is for sure. But yeah, as far as I think we'll be running, I mean, we could run Kanto since we'll know we'll be selling out the Tokyo Dome. Pretty much no problem, so. Yeah, I mean, Korakuen will probably be a fun show to run, just for the sake of it being at Korakuen. Here we go. 62 for the opener, as Minoru Tanaka and Tomoe Honda beating the Jinsei Shinzaki Firecat team. Obviously, the the great chemistry boost rather for Firecat and Jinsei Shinzaki helps them out a little bit, but still, the better team won. Which is impressive to see. Jericho beating Akira with the Lion Tamer in 9:51. A 70 for Ogawa and Masato Tanaka against Hideki Osaka and Satoru Osaka. So Ogawa submitting Satoru Osaka there in 12 minutes. Kobashi with the Brainbuster over the Gladiator in 25 minutes. Norman Smiley beating Dan Crawford with the Norman Conquest in 20:37. Taue beating Steven Regal with a Dynamic Bomb. It's Taue with a 74-82 for Steven Regal. Doc beating Chono with the Dr. Bomb. That was pretty awesome to see. Doc goes on to the finals, take on Kaiji Muto, then Masanobu with a massive upset over Mitsuha Misawa. What we could even do is this would be pretty awesome to do, since we're doing the finals of of Kaiji Muto, Steve Williams, champion versus champion. We could also have the co-main meet champions versus champions as well But I think that would probably be kind of overkill since we just did that back in February. So probably won't do that. But that was an idea. Was an idea. But yeah, the tournament has been played out. And you must say, was very happy with how the tour went. Nobody got hurt. We have a great finals lined up. Just everything is going to plan. So we'll see. Will it be the All Asia Heavyweight Champion winning the Champion Carnival? Or will it be the Unified Great Heavyweight Champion winning the finals? We shall see. Alright, it is time for the Champion Carnival Finals. Boy, oh boy. Nippon TV, Telemundo, brilliant stuff. Got a backstage incident. Of course, it's Taue Masato Tanaka. Taue's passing on psychology to Masato Tanaka. Yeah, it was Kobashi Misawa last year, Champion Carnival Finals. And the heavyweight champion won it all. And to think where we are at now, as far as we're going to have basically champion versus champion in a major main event. We're also going to have a non-title match that's super important, Terry Funk and Dean Malenko. I mean, that's a major matchup. Also, we're going to have some title matches as well. We're going to have tag team title matchup, Holy Demon Army versus Masahiro Chono, Shinya Shimoto. Misawa and Kanemoto are going to challenge for the All Asia tag team titles, which that should be a banger. Of course, the former unified tag team champions in Misawa and Kanemoto and British Combat Club, of course, been fantastic. But yeah, I mean, I'm just super pumped to see how this show plays out. Obviously, we're going to be at the Dome. Fucking would have been 84,000 people if we were able to run a bigger venue. But yeah, obviously the main event. And it is Keiji Muto beating Dr. Death Steve Williams. I think that's the right call. I mean, Jesus Christ, though. What a match. What a main event. Jumbo will be the road agent for this one. And to have two guys that have never been in the finals before get there, champion versus champion, then the All Asia Heavyweight Champion gets the win. Massive. Absolutely massive. I'm going to add the post-show thing right now as, for, celebrating is Keiji Muto wins the ultimate Champion Carnivals, we're going to call that. Because that really, that's incredible. As he's celebrating, he heads back, you get the pictures taken, you head back to the locker room, and just, he's got the belt, he's got the Champion Carnival trophy laying in, right in, Hashimoto and Chono's there, and he's just like, everyone's thinking, what's next? We're going to have the title match at the Superpower Series tour, and he just kind of looks off in the distance and just kind of shakes his head, and it's like, I don't think that's the way to go. If I'm the office, here's a proposal, as far as have our title match defenses, because I got some names on my list I want to get some revenge on for beating me during this Champion Carnival. I'm sure Doc feels the same way. And he's like, well, after the Superpower Series tour, if he's still the heavyweight champion, by all means, at the Super J Cup, I'd love to have a unified grand heavyweight title match with him. So that's an interesting proposal, and I think the office should definitely take that advice, and that be the plans. So we will have Keiji Muto potentially Dr. Death Steve Williams, depending on what happens in the future with him. But I think that's just a great idea to, for the first time, obviously we always have the guy, last year it was obviously a returning Tosha Quada challenge for, well, I guess not, returning. Tosha Quada returning to challenge Kenta Kobashi, the guy's title match. To now kind of change the topic of looking ahead. Not only are you going to get the best tournament as far as the single night tournament in the history of Japanese pro wrestling, you're also going to get a heavyweight title matchup as well on that card. So that's going to be exciting to see. And that should be a lot of fun to do, though. And that return match, potentially a return match, is going to be a lot of fun to see. So we have the co-main event is actually the Great Sasuke versus Jushin Thunder Liger. I think that's the better co-main. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And I think to change it up, something like that, where it's you get the heavyweight guys, you get the junior heavyweight guys in there right afterwards. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to see. And Sasuke's going to beat him. So we have a new junior heavyweight champion in the great Sasuke. I think this was well deserved. Sasuke has been phenomenal. Liger's been phenomenal, obviously, as the junior champion. First ever junior champion, and to finally beat Liger. He's waited so long to beat him on the big stage. Lost to him at the J Cup for the junior heavyweight title. He got that revenge win. Gets the junior heavyweight title matchup in the finals. Loses it. Hasn't had a singles match since then. So he's been waiting 2 years for his rematch. He finally gets it. And he beats him. I think it's a great story. Actually not the co-main event. The match before the co-main event. The unified tag team title matchup. Three Musketeers, Masahiro Chono, Shinya Hashimoto against the Holy Demon Army. So this is a fun matchup because Kawada lost to Shinya Hashimoto, and then also, I believe, Chono beat Akira Taue. Yes, so both guys beat the other in a singles competition matchup. So that's kind of fun to think of as from a building perspective, and that's why we're going to have it on this show. It's going to be 24 minutes, but Kawada's going to get the win over Hashimoto, get that win back, and I think that's the right decision. Terry Funk versus Dean Malenko. Dean Malenko going to beat Terry Funk. That is a massive win for Dean Malenko. It's then the All-Asia Tag Team title matchup. Mitsuha Misawa, Koji Kanemoto against the British Combat Club, as Norman going to beat Koji Kanemoto, so they will retain. So the tag champs retain. We get a new junior champion, and of course Kaiji Muto winning the big one. As now the Technical Tactician Squad against Eddie Guerrero and Wild Pegasus, which they will retain their tag team championships as well, as their first defense is successful. Then Shudo versus Fantastics in a 6-man tag. Tommy Rogers is going to beat not Jackie Fulton, he's going to beat Kiyoshi Demora, rather, since he will be leaving us for the MMA camp and for the fight. Los Bravano against the Gladiator Titans, Hayabusa, Jinsei Shinzaki, and Firecat. Psychosis going to beat Firecat on the main stage in a Steal the Show matchup that should be an absolute banger, though. I'm absolutely excited to see how this card plays out. Giving them 44 minutes to that main event is pretty major. Hopefully it delivers in a big way. I think it will. So we shall see. 76 for the opener. Pretty solid opener. Vampire with an 81, though. That's actually really impressive. Hayabusa with an 86. Headhunter A with an 80. Psychosis for his first major show did really well here. I mean, obviously, him and Firecat and Jinsei Shinzaki and Damien are kind of rounded up the worst part of this matchup, but the guillotine leg drop from Psychosis in 10:44. Fun little opener. 87 for the 6-man of the Fantastics against Nuki Sano, Kiyoshi Demora, and Satoru Sayama. That's crazy. First of all, Nuki Sano with a 90 is nuts. But that's a solid 6-man matchup. Very, very good. Junior tag team matchups in 92. Eddie and Chris, phenomenal stuff there. As a Wild Bomb from Wild Pegasus in 23:30. Solid match. Solid junior tag team matchup. 99 for the All-Asia tag team title matchup. It's a absolute banger of a matchup there. Two teams with excellent chemistry. Putting it all out there. Norman getting the win with the Norman Conquest, and that's their 4th defense of the All-Asia tag team titles. It's the 99 year for Dean Malenko and Terry Funk, as Dean gets a win, and this is a massive matchup. First of all, Terry Funk's been on a roll, but also to potentially see Dean Malenko get an All-Asia heavyweight title matchup in the future, or even a junior heavyweight title matchup against the great Sasuke, since he lost to Sasuke to lead up to Sasuke having the Liger matchup. Could make sense there. From that perspective, a lot of different paths he can go on here going forward. And another 99. What a run we have had on this show, as the Unified World Tag Team title matchup delivers in a big way. Kawada beating Shinya Hashimoto. Brilliant stuff, though. 96-100 from Kawada. 93 from Hashimoto and Chono. Love it. Love it. Big win for the Holy Demon Army. And 98, unfortunate. It just drops below a 99 with a Thunderfire Powerbomb from Sasuke over Liger. And we have a new junior heavyweight champion in the great Sasuke. Well deserved. Well deserved indeed. Our main event, a 99, Kaiji Muto with the Muto lock in 41 minutes taps out Steve Williams and is your winner in the Ultimate Champion Carnival Finals at a show that will definitely be remembered fondly. I mean, Jesus Christ, we had like 4.99s on this show and a 98 go main. What a show. 98 for the show rating. I would have loved to get 100 there. I mean, what a run, though, from the All Asia Tag Team title matchup all the way through. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. What a show, though. And thank you all for watching. I know we didn't get to see this last week, unfortunately, but now that I am all set, unfortunately, kind of what happens, I didn't really... It's now been so long, I kind of forgot if I talked about this in the opener, or in the intro. If I did, I'm so sorry. But basically, with my medication I take, there is times where I get this. It's called GERD is the thing, but basically it just makes acid reflux from your stomach into your throat. But it makes it super hard to talk without burping and like spitting constantly. And that's kind of weird to say because like your mouth gets so watery from all the shit happening in your body that you just have to just spit in I spit in a cup or a trash can depending on what the day's feeling like. Usually it doesn't happen too often. Usually about once a month, which it could be worse. It could be like a weekly thing. But yeah, that's why we couldn't record last week because no one wants to hear a bunch of burping and spitting throughout a recording. Because literally, it's like every 10 minutes. It's pretty nuts. But yeah, Kaiji Muto gonna get put over. Sasuke, I think, well-deserved. And, trying to think, maybe Kawada for the 100, for the tag team title matchup. I think that's a good call. Super impressed by the boys, though. That was a fantastic show. Fantastic tournament. Nothing more I can ask for there. And, now the Superpower Series. The fallout from that is super impressive because we look forward to the Super J Cup, but also reflecting on what the Champion Carnival's got. As far as Doc probably will have a title matchup with somebody he lost to. Rather, it's, obviously he's got a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, handful of people he could face. It could either be Kenta Kobashi, or it could be Steven Regal. Obviously, Regal being an All-Asia Tag Team Champion, probably won't happen, but we might get, 2 title matches on that Superpower Series show. Might get a Regal matchup, or we might get a Kobashi main event. And for Kaiji Muto, kind of the same thing. As far as for him, he's got, Ultimo Dragon matchup on the horizon. Got a Stan Hansen matchup on the horizon. So, there is that. And also Kawada matchup potentially as well in the future. So, a lot of exciting things happening for Kaiji Muto. First of all, again, I can't stress this enough. This man has had an incredible 1997 just in these first couple of months. He's had the 100, he's had a couple of 99s, he's won the Champion Carnival now. Fantastic stuff. Really, really fantastic stuff. As that will do it for this episode, though. Thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time. Take care, everyone.